Okay, guys, welcome back. And as you know, we're back in action. This is Tactical Ashigarami TV, and as per usual, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the noti bell, all that good jazz. You know what's up. As we wind down towards the end of the year, we think about some of the things that we tried to work on, right? What did we try to implement to make things better this year? And you can kind of devise that into different goals and organize it into things that you can find manageable for you. In Airsoft, one of the things that I really wanted to focus on this year and really implement into my game was offhanding and switching. And not only doing this with just one or two platforms, but being able to do it generally with every platform that I use. And it has done a lot of wonders for me in terms of creating angles, and it has made a big difference even in those situations where I don't do so well. And you know how sometimes when things are kind of going a certain way, they do take a domino effect. Anyway, going into the gameplay with the USAF, the United States Air Force. Once again, shout out to these guys for coming out all the way from Kanto into the Kansai area to play at Feeling of Peach. This is definitely not something that I recommend. Can I say that it's worth the trip? That would be highly subjective for those of you who do understand where I'm coming from. On that, it is what it is. There have been good showings and sometimes not so good, but it all depends on I guess the situation. Anyway, it was really difficult for us because we kind of had to figure out where these guys were coming from. There were so many different angles of attack that we had to worry about, and we were split off into two different teams during this round. So we had mostly our Hexera guys on the second level fighting indoor CQB throughout the building, pushing toward the same side, and our guys had the lower corridor, the parking lot, going kind of outside into the garages, basically trying to lock those areas down, and it was increasingly difficult. So once things kind of went underway, a lot of our guys took fire, and because of the lack of balancing or whatnot, but we're not going to get into that. Things did happen, and oftentimes these are uncontrollable variables in your indoor outdoor sabage, or whatever you want to call it. We tried our best. I was really happy with what I was able to do in terms of information relaying and readiness. So at least with the use of the offhand, you're able to react defensively to what's coming, and you can sort of move. So once you get past or towards a barricade, you can fight on your dominant side, and if you have to transition, which a lot of the times you will have to transition, it doesn't matter what what the situation is. The gun that I used for the map, I think, was the best one, and with the APS Patriot, you can switch shoulders a lot easier than something that is a little bit longer and shoulder fired. It's a little bit more difficult to react to what's happening. So interestingly enough, whatever platform enables you to transition is the most effective platform, I think, for this particular map, regardless of barrel size. The APS Patriot has a very short barrel, I think probably about the same length as my Desert Eagle or less. So not that much in way of an internal barrel, but it is something that provides a good trajectory out to 30 meters or so. Decent trajectory. So you can still be effective and fight at those type of distances. For long distance, I can't really recommend it too much. I think depending on the optic or however you have it set up, you might run into some difficulty, but that's just something that I believe would be highly relevant. Once again, so yeah, fighting indoor and outdoors on this map is so difficult, man. the reason why it was so hard at, during these rounds, and you'll see it as we progress in some of the other games, that they put us up against their customer base, and it was really difficult nonetheless to navigate around certain areas which they pretty much have control over. But it's the same thing on any map that you play, I think. When you go up against certain guys that are kind of mapped out, and they have a good idea of where the main focal points are, or you want to call them power positions. Once you take control of them, it's really, how should I say this, that domino effect kind of ensues. So whoever is in control can enforce their game a lot more in that sense. But once again, this is something that I am implementing more. So 2022 was a big year of offhanding. That'll be the year of offhanding. So we focused on implementing this with the use of the pistol, especially in CQB. Changing, going from dominant to non-dominant hand, going around corners, slicing, using concealment, using barricades to effectively attack, or in most scenarios, when you're being beat up, when you're getting beat up and you can't really do much, you're more like the nail, so you have to be able to deal with these things. Anyway, once again, guys, this is Takashi Grami TV. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the noti bell. Thank you so much for watching, and more is coming your way. See you guys soon.